Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the FA Cup 4th round against a Brentford match preview. Frank Lampard's first game as Everton manager, Goodison Park. Ooh, it's exciting.
It is exciting. It's great to go to match again and want to get behind the manager. Good. Just lifts that life, airy feeling away. Although, to be fair, Evertonians went the last match to get behind the manager when Dunk was in charge. Yeah. So, but no, it feels like there's been a little bit of a sea change.
Yeah.
This week at Everton, doesn't it? Obviously, new manager coming in, being confirmed now. We all know where we stand with that, and the players coming in. You know, Dele Alli, Donny van der Beek, Billy Crellin. Don't forget Billy. It all feels like things might start to look a little bit brighter than they did. So that's why I think there'll be a bit of excitement around this game, albeit the new players can't play.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. We've got 3 cup-tied players out of 5 brought in January. 6 if we can include Billy Crellin.
Yeah.
So that limits the excitement just a little bit. But listen, Frank Lampard, he'll have had 5 days training with players after they've had a couple of weeks off. And we only had Yerry Mina and Rondon away in international duty. Fared slightly different. Rondon got a hat-trick. Yerry Mina got booked in a 0-0, and basically Colombia won't be going to the World Cup now. So different.
Clean sheet with him in the team.
Oh, that's it. So hopefully, fresh squad. Iwobi's back as well.
Fresh from his red card.
Yeah, again, didn't do great. International wise, didn't do well. So players hopefully should be fresh. Few of those injuries have had a chance to settle down a little bit, although obviously Decore's not going to be available. And the manager gets an opportunity with some of those players before putting other players in the team. And it'll be interesting to see who we plays and interesting to see how we play, because it's going to be, I think, probably completely different than Rafa Benitez. So it's week 24 of Ultimate Fan, and I'm about to pick my team. Earlier in the week, I got my packs from my $4.99 subscription package, which guarantees 2 gold cards a week. This week, week 24, there's a £1,000 prize pot. Now, this week, it's a little bit different than normal weeks because it's an FA Cup week, but Burnley and Watford play on Saturday, and that's when it starts. So you've got to have your team in by 6 o'clock on Saturday night. And then it runs through to Thursday evening, because there's games on Tuesday, on Wednesday, and on Thursday. So if you're picking your team, you're picking your team for the week ahead. That means that if you've got any Watford and Burnley players, they will play 2 games. Are those players good enough? I'm not sure if those players are good enough to get enough points in 2 games. João Pedro from Watford. Now, do I put him in the side? Will he get more points in 2 games than, say, Richarlison? I don't know. I'm not sure. Just looking at my team, Manchester City, I've got 3 Manchester City players, and I've got Manchester City as my team. They're playing Brentford. I'm quite confident they're going to do well in that. So can't pick Salah because he's still at the African Nations, so I don't think he'll play next week, so I can't play him. So I'm pretty happy with the team I've got. It's looking okay. Bruno Fernandes, do I change him? I don't know. Lukaku is available to play up front. Do I put him in the side? Okay, I'm gonna put Lukaku up front. Bruno Fernandes, do I keep him in the side or do I change him for? Or do I put another centre forward in? I know what I'll do. I'll swap Kevin De Bruyne and Fernandes, and I'm gonna put Harry Kane up front. Maybe it's time Harry Kane starts scoring goals. I'm gonna put Harry Kane up front. I think he's gonna start scoring goals. Harry Kane and Romelu Lukaku up front. Kevin De Bruyne, Phil Foden, Cancelo in the back with Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Manchester City is my team. That's who I'm going to go for. Don't forget, it starts on Saturday with the Burnley and Watford game, and it runs through to next week. If you've got any Burnley-Watford players, they will play twice through the week. Is that going to make you put them in the side? I don't know. Don't forget, there's a £1,000 prize pot. You can play for free. There's a silver subscription, $2.99, a gold subscription, $4.99. That is a month. You get 2 guaranteed gold cards for that every week if you've gone for the gold one, plus other perks and discounts and stuff. Just check out Ultimate Fan. Check out the link in the description. Make sure you get the app and start playing straight away.
Well, you'd think so, wouldn't you? And hopefully with different outcomes than what Rafa Benitez had. Yeah, I mean, it will be interesting to see the shape of the team, really. Because obviously he's not going to have loads of options in midfield. No, Corey, Ali and Van der Beek, cup side. So you're left with, Alan, Andre Gomez, and John-Philippe Gbamin, or Tyler Onyango.
Yeah.
So whether he plays with 3 or 2 will be interesting. But I think Goodison will be bouncing, to be honest. Obviously, Brentford will bring a lot with them. Taking my seat. And it'll be interesting to see how the players respond to that. You normally do get that bounce from the new manager. It's a great opportunity. Home side's got to be settled on the day. It's a great opportunity to get into the 5th round of the FA Cup and build up a little bit of confidence, because obviously we've got a huge game at Newcastle on Tuesday. When obviously the other 3 players will be available for that.
Yeah.
But I mean, Saturday, if Michalenko's back in the side and Nathan Patterson makes his Everton debut, there's a couple of fresh faces and fresh impetus into the team as well. And hopefully he can start off with a good positive result. And it will be a difficult game.
Yeah, I'm just like on the game itself. I am. For me, there's no real pressure on this game. I'm not really looking at the FA Cup thinking we must do this and we must do that. Don't get me wrong, I want to win it, but to me, this is a game that's not in the
momentum builder.
Exactly, but that's the point. It's a game that's not in the Premier League. So the pressures on it are just of its own making. There's not you don't bring any of those hang-ups into it. You like the last game, when we went to Hull, you just wanted to win. But I wasn't ever thinking too much about anything else going on. Of course, we've got a game on Tuesday against Newcastle, which is huge, and Leeds next week at home, both 2 huge games. So it's a big week. And for this game, it's not a freebie, because I want to win, of course I want to win. I don't want to go out in the FA Cup. So it's not a freebie. But I think there's pressure off. New manager gets to come in, experience the team in a game which we all want to win. But at the same time, if we lose it, we're out the cup. But it's not, I want to win. And no, of course I want to win. But the point being is, I'm not
the be all and end all.
I'm not taking any pressure into this game. I'm not going to be sitting here thinking we must win.
I think one thing I think will be dead interesting will be who he plays in goal, because obviously at Hull, Begovic did all right. He played and made a big save at 1-0, didn't he? And another even bigger save at 3-2. Or 2-2, whatever it was, 3-2. But will Lampard want to kind of go, no, I want to get you into what I want to do straight away, and Jordan Pickford is key to that. If we're going to play
he doesn't need resting, does he? Because we haven't played for...
No, what I'm saying, but if he wants to play a more possession-based game, he wants his goalie more comfortable with the ball at his feet. So it'll be interesting to see whether he does go with Pickford and just try to say, listen, this weekend we're trying to get off to a positive start, a new manager, trying to get some momentum going, start winning games and feeling good again. And I'm going to go with what I regard as my first choice team. Yerry Mina's another one. We got 3 games in a week. Can Yerry handle 3 games in a week? He's our best defender.
It's a big decision, isn't it?
What do you do? Do you leave him out and go, well, he'll play Tuesday and then Saturday? Or do you play him Saturday and just give him that recovery and play him Tuesday and give him the recovery? Because
it's a difficult one, isn't
the difference between Tuesday and Saturday is not much recovery time for him, and yet they're both important league games. So, it will be interesting. And that's to say that he can't play 3 games in a week. He may do. If it's sporadically, he may be able to. But I think the manager will want to put out the best team he can, because no matter who you are, and it's easy for us to go, oh, well, it's a cup game and there's no real pressure on it. For him, there will be a pressure, because it's how you start.
Yeah,
you start with a win at the weekend. Everyone's like, we've got a new manager, that bounce is there. The headlines are all Frank Lampard off to a winning start as Everton manager. That carries on the narrative. There's the gloom's lifted. Oh, it's the start of a new era. Boom, boom, boom. Then you go to Newcastle and you go, and he's got Dele Alli available, and he's got Donny van der Beek available, and he's got El Ghazi available for this one on the back of the squad that won at the weekend. You're starting to build up that momentum. And we saw this all those years ago, to hark back to times gone by. But we saw it with when Joe Royle come in you know, when Everton were in a poor position and ended up winning the FA Cup. The FA Cup was that thing that kept the momentum going. Even when league games weren't perfect, the next week it was a cup game and they'd win. You felt better about the next game and they were able to get a rhythm going. And sometimes that happens when a team's struggling. The FA Cup's the thing that gets them going again, and I think Lampard will be looking at that.
Yeah, and it's difficult to put it's difficult for us to sit here and talk about formations and players and all that kind of thing when we don't know what he's going to do yet. That'll be easier from next week when we've got a couple of games we can talk about after we've watched this game, when we start to get a feel for what he wants to do and what he's trying to do. So it is difficult, but I think he'll try and utilise obviously he'll utilise a lot of the same players because he hasn't got any choice for this game, but obviously he might try and just tinker with the formation or just the way we play in general, want to play a bit faster, play it to feet, actually utilise people actually passing the ball, which hasn't necessarily happened, or even if he says, well, I'm going to have Dom up front with just Charlison playing in a role that maybe I can interchange someone like Dele Alli or Van der Beek or whatever. So it's going to be interesting to see what he actually does, but it's hard to know what he's going to do until we actually see it.
His preferred formations are 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. Everton have played 4-2-3-1. In fact, Everton have played a variation of both this season anyway. So I imagine they'll be one of the two systems that he uses at the weekend, and it'll be what personnel makes it up. What are the intricacies of that in those formations, and what he's used with Derby and what he's used with Chelsea. Your fullbacks are hugely important, and that's why you may see Michalenko back in the side because it's the balance with that left foot on one side. And Nathan Patterson, I will be playing anyway. Yeah, because 100%. He's going to be our right back. You want energy, you want youth. You're trying to, he talks about in his first interview, high press, high energy. Well, they're two young lads. Who will get up and down, so utilise them and start putting that energy in and thrusting into the side.
And listen, the last game out against Villa, the second half was much improved. We got more. We just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. And all we asked for, I think, is we get quicker starts, we get out the blocks quicker, and we start games better, and we hopefully we start taking leads in games instead of going behind, and we scored in the first half instead of not scoring at all. So I think they're the little things we'll be looking for, little signs for him, little signs for us, and he's got 3 really big games in a week, hasn't he? So we do need to kickstart him, we do need to be fast, but obviously Brentford are coming. They've been in very mixed form as well. Let's have a little look at their team from last time out.
Yeah, so 3-5-2.
Yeah.
Thomas Frank's used this quite a lot, really. And obviously Buemo and Ivan Toney are a handful up front, we know that. Albeit we did deal with them very well at their ground and lost to a penalty. And we should have got something that day, let's be honest. Neither team were great that day. The big news has been obviously Christian Eriksen coming into Brentford, but we believe he's not. Yeah, he's not going to be considered anyway at the minute.
He'll be available for another week or so.
Brentford won 4-1 at Port Vale last time out, albeit with a much changed side. So it depends what Thomas Frank wants to do. He'll be looking at it as well and going, well, we've got a week where, we've got 3 games in a week ourselves. Then with this, they're looking at Premier League survival as well. They're 4 points ahead of Everton. Everton have got 3 games in hand on them at the moment. And he'll be wanting to save his players. They've got a couple of big games coming up themselves. So it'll be interesting to see whether he goes full strength or whether he utilises his squad and kind of goes,
well, I mean,
see what happens.
It's a bit of a, to be fair, they've got the goalkeeper, I think, coming back, who played apparently yesterday in a game behind closed doors, which he done well in apparently. And their centre-back, who's been out injured, just come back as well. So they're getting players coming back, so it's going to be...
But will you want to play them 3 times in a week?
Yeah, but they play Man City on Tuesday. So we might decide this is the game to put the full strength out, and Tuesday might be the game where he goes, nah...
Do you think?
No, I'm just saying,
yeah,
he might.
He could do, yeah.
He might, he might. And I think they've got Newcastle coming up as well, so we might think...
Big games, yeah.
He might think the Man City game's the game they vest them in, and this is the one they go for. I don't know, but it'll be interesting, speaking to Billy the Bee on our opposition preview, big Brentford fan, you know, he suggests that might be the case. He thinks that might be the case, and he might go as strong as he can. But because they have got injuries, it's obviously not as strong as they can be. But they're starting to get players back, so it is going to be a difficult game, you know. And as you can see, you know, they play 3-5-2, so they're going to the middle of the park's going to be massive again, and we've got to get numbers in there. But
maybe if he plays 4-3-3 Lampard,
he's been away in Dubai, getting warm weather training, and apparently Ivan Toney said something about Brentford while he was over there, which is not very respectful to the club.
Yeah, he made a comment. The video's out there. I think people have probably seen it. So that's brought unnecessary spotlight on it. He's had to come out and issue an apology video and all.
Especially with, obviously, they've brought Christian Eriksen in, and that's fantastic. It's a fantastic story for football, you know, and everyone wishes him well and hope he does well.
Yeah.
You know, not well enough that we don't finish above them, but you know, he does well, and you know, has maybe creates an opportunity for himself to stick around and then hopefully go to the World Cup with Denmark. So that's a really good story. But stuff like that from Ivan Toney, just it's not needed, because Brentford are not seen as, they don't need any controversy around them. They're a positive, nice club, community club. They don't need that kind of stuff around them. It just,
and they're doing really well, aren't they? And you know, Mathew Benham's done an incredible job there, and they're a great story. So they don't need any of that.
But they could have Lossell in goal.
They could. Jonas Lossell brought him in the January transfer window. It's Raya, the other keeper, isn't it? The highly rated keeper. They could have Lossell in goal for this one. Obviously, didn't play much for Everton at all, and disappeared off back to Denmark, and then has come back. So yeah, being an FA Cup story, as there always is, isn't it?
There always is. But let's look at Ivan Toney's numbers.
So yeah, 23 appearances, started 22, and he's got 7 goals, 3 assists, and averages 2.5 shots per game, or just under 2.5 shots a game. He's, you know, a few penalties in there. Yeah. He's had a good season in terms of off the ball stuff. Hasn't been prolific the way he was in the Championship, but that's often the case. It's a tough league. That's not to say he can't get better. Jamie Vardy, I think his first season he got 7 goals or something in the Premier League, and then was incredible after that. So you've got to learn. But he's a handful. Buemo's a handful, and we've got to be ready for those two. And Everton obviously have been very, very porous this season in terms of conceding goals. And that'll be something Frank Lampard wants to correct straight away, is the amount of goals Everton concede. So listen, we know it's going to be very tricky. We know that we've got to be prepared for the scrap. But if we can play the football, Everton are a better side than Brentford, really. But you've got to prove it.
You have to convince me of that one.
No, that's fine. But what I would convince you is we play 3 games less, we're only 4 points behind, and we've been absolutely diabolical from day one. So, well, we haven't, because we were all right early on, but the last couple of months we've been atrocious. Brentford have won 2 games since we last played them, and we've won 1. No, I'm saying. So neither form are like smashing it. Neither club smashing it out the park, are they? So
not at all.
We've got to be confident for this
we've
one.
Got to be. Let us know your thoughts in the comments if you want to check out the opposition match preview with Billy the Bee, big Brentford fan,
top man,
been around for years. Just brings joy.
He does.
Joy, brings a kind of joy that I haven't felt as an Everton fan for a very long time. He has that, watching his team and loving his team. Check that out. That'll be available over on Patreon. Check that out. Make sure you give this video a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you want more great videos, join us on Patreon. Also, make sure you download the Ultimate Fan app so you can play starting this weekend, because there is a league game this weekend, and that it'll go on to next week when there's obviously Premier League games on Tuesday and Wednesday, and I think Thursday as well. So make sure you sort your team out ahead of the first Premier League game on Saturday night. I think it's 6 o'clock. Is it Watford versus Burnley?
0-0, please.
0-0, please. Thank you. There you go. Thanks for watching. See you later.